Hello my friends, and welcome back to the woods. It's been a rainy day. It still is a rainy day. I'm in some coverage here of the trees. So the trees are my shelter. Not that I'm afraid of the water. It's been amazing. Have you noticed when you're outside and it's raining and it's wet? The smell is amazing, right? Everything just comes forth from the soil, from the plants, the flowers, and the rain itself. So nurturing. So I'm back. I was walking today because I wanted to touch back with the herbs. A lot of people are asking about the wild herbs that I see on my walks. There were a couple rather, that I was looking for that wasn't here today. So I'm not in my regular habitat, but I will find them and show them to you and tell you a little bit about them. So today I'm going to show you what I did find, which is more interesting. And first of all, see, I got a little bouquet here, a couple of things. These are young now, the fireweed. I don't know if you heard about them. So what you'll see right now where I'm at is this. Okay, so it grows like this, and it turns out to be, I would say, like probably up to 3-4 feet high. It has these long, slim, see, like this, and they're very tender. They turn more harsh when they grow older, when the flowers come on. So this is for every plant, okay? The young leaves are very tender and mild and very medicinal. When the plant grows older and they turn, they have flowers and seeds, they tend to be more harsh. You can still use them, but they're not as palatable if you want to eat them. So I do all year round. And most plants actually during season, they still get their new buds, so they grow new plants. So you can look for the young ones whole season through. So this is the fireweed, okay? I think you can see this. And then, like I said, the plant grows yay high, and on top of this beautiful purple flower pointing right up, okay? So why do I pick this? Well, this actually I pick, all of them. You have to be cautious, obviously. Make sure that it's the right one. But this one, you don't want to overdo it. This has been traditionally used for digestion, and it's very potent. So while I could take maybe a handful or even 2 handfuls of dandelion in my smoothie, I would only do like 4 leaves of this. Okay, that's how potent it is. And you can dry them and put them in your tea. But Google that, and learn more. Learn more about all the herbs. Fireweed is a popular name. I'm using the names. I'm not using the Latin names for the plants. It's too complicated, right? So that's one, okay? Then another one, we don't think about these regular ones that might not even think about them as herbs, or if they have any medicinal properties, but the leaves does of even this. See, this is from a typical, I have a couple here. This is raspberry bush, okay? So right now they are young. They don't have any berries on them yet. And you can also look at one right here, okay? See? This is where the berries are gonna come, after where the flowers been. So when you see a raspberry bush, you can take the flowers, you can do that too. You can take the leaves, dry them, and put them in your green powder, or you can put them in your tincture, or you can put them in your smoothie. They have almost the same property as the berry, not exactly, but they're very good for the nerves and regeneration. I hear all these sounds, but it's, I don't know, animals, birds. Can you hear it? It's exciting. And then you hear the rain. So if I get distracted, or if I look distracted, it's because I'm soaking it all in. Okay, so that's, I will chase that with the regular Burke. Burke, right? The tree, the Burke tree. Have you seen that? Yeah, it has the white stem. Beautiful. There's so many different, species of that though. This is a typical Burke leaf. And those have been used traditionally for inflammation, arthritis. You can use the leaves like every other herb that I've been talking about. I've been eating a lot of Burke leaves, and also I've been tapping the Burke trees for their sap. Drinking Burke sap is a very old remedy, and it's very nutritionally equal to coconut water, believe it or not. Very hydrating and very healing. The only thing is you got to know what to do, and you have to respect nature. So I went away from that a little bit, but you can drill a hole in the stem, of course, tap, and then plug it. Make sure that so that the tree doesn't bleed. You can also take one branch and then take it off, the tip of it, and just put a flask on it so that it drips. And you can tap all night, and it should have a whole bottle in the morning. I have done blog posts on that, and I might do more videos, but you see, this is so seasonal that you need to do it last week of March. That's how specific it is. Like, and you have a window of like 3 to 4 weeks to taste that sap. It's clear as water. It's not sticky or greasy. You'd think, thinking sap, right? But no. So that's you know, a little bit off track. But the Burke, the leaves, very good for inflammation. So you can use that if you don't have any exotic herbs, you don't think. And then, well, for today, actually I only have one left that I found on this walk, and this is the ground elder, and it's everywhere. And I don't know if you can see behind me. That's all ground elder. Every green thing is ground elder right there. And when I had a garden that I thought, you know, when I thought weeds were just, you know, get rid of it, this was like the headache. This is the headache of every gardener that wants a weed-free garden, because it just spreads everywhere, and the roots just, you know, goes underground and it pops up. So when I learned about this, we learned to say, if you can't beat it, eat it. This is, or has been, and I think a lot of chefs know about this, it's been traditionally used as nature's parsley. It tastes a little like parsley, especially the young leaves. So this one, I would say, gets very harsh when it gets older. When you see those white, it has white flowers, a long stem with little white flowers on top when it matures. And at that point, it tastes very bitter. You can still use it, but look for the young leaves. They come up all season, all season. When you, this is how this plant works. If you pick it, if you break the stem, you are telling the plant just to make more, you know, just to grow new buds. So all season long, full of buds. So you can always pick them, and they're you know, used for the same thing as parsley. We're talking about the kidneys, very cleansing for the kidneys, and that's always a good thing. So this is also what I've been using as my typical, I would say, 5 most safe that most people know about, that you can find almost everywhere if you're in a northern climate. That is number 1, dandelion. We talked about that in the other video. I'm going to call this number 2. Dandelion, we have the ground elder. Then I would say the nettle. So dandelion, ground elder, nettle. I showed you nettle. Then we have the horsetail, which I haven't shown you yet, which I was looking for. They grow closer to the water, and there's no water right here, so I'm going to have to get back to you on that one. And then the last one is the plantain. So those 5 are my most potent, find everywhere, safe to use, have been used by so many, by myself for years, that I go to. Now, then I add the fireweed and the different leaves in a little smaller quantity, and then others that I will show you once I find them. Well, every forest seems to find me, and I want to challenge you to go outside into the woods, not only to the beach, and not only, you know, put your feet on the grass outside your door. Go to the woods where you can actually be surrounded by the trees that are quote unquote wild. This is called forest bathing, where you will bathe in the aura of every living plant that you walk within the area of. And being in a forest, you will actually never get out of that energy. When you walk barefoot on top of that, you are then nailing out, the way I see it, every negative effect that the society with the Wi-Fi, electricity has with us, you know, with ourselves. It's called stress. And we can talk about the emotional detox that I did in the previous video, and we can talk about stress, which is, you know, takes an extension to just stressing our body with food. We're stressing it with a lot of other things. Not only the emotional baggage, we're stressing it with the environment that we live in, and not only what you would typically think of as stressful, because I think most of us know that when you're stressed, it doesn't feel good. Like if something makes you so upset, you almost want to throw up, or you get a, you know, your heart beats faster, or, you know, typically, you can look in the mirror and you can see if you're stressed. See, the danger is more with what you don't feel and that you don't know, because you don't even know that it's happening. And that's the long-standing, low-grade stress that creates the long-standing, low-grade inflammation in the body. And whenever you step into the woods, start eating fresh fruits and vegetables, you are then not only getting stronger so that you can fight this, or so that you have more muscle to be able to live in this world. You're actually regenerating and nailing out the damage that was already done, even though it has been long-standing. So very interesting, wouldn't you say, that walking into the forest has so many amazing benefits that you might not even know about. Okay, so I challenge you today not to only go into the woods, but to actually explore the wild herbs, to read about them, pick them, and ask me anything below this video. If you're unsure that you found the right one, don't eat it. Okay, make sure that you're sure first. And if there's something that you wonder, you can ask me, and I'll try to answer you. I know a lot about the herbs that I'm used to. I do not know enough about all the herbs, you know, that grow everywhere, obviously. That is one of the things that I'll get back to you with when I'm back in Florida. I'll look more into what actually grows there, because not everybody is as lucky, I could say. Well, not everybody lives around herbs like we do in Norway and the northern countries in Europe, and also in the USA and Canada. And you have to excuse my ignorance if I don't know everywhere that they grow. So this is it for today. I have promised myself to make these videos short enough so that you can actually watch them without getting bored, or that is too much information. I think it's that, rather. You know, sometimes just too much information to take in. So topic-specific videos, I love to get ideas about that. I already have some new ideas for the next video. So follow me, you know, subscribe to the channel, share with friends, give it a thumbs up, everything good, you know, in that direction. And I'll see you next time. Maybe you'll be the one walking by. Hey!